Hi everyone, my name is Janet and I am the Business Innovation Project Coordinator of the Chamber of Commerce. And this is also in a partnership with EcoTrust Canada. So I would love to share screen my presentation. I'm excited to share with you what I've been working on for the past few months, and it is the results on the Chamber citywide survey. Just a note, of course, our results have been shared to us before the crisis has hit, but there's a lot of information that we gathered that we can use to inform our programming, as well as we also want to share about how we plan to have a business vital call to talk to our members and just make sure that you guys have the resources, or how can we serve you best. And that is the goal of our survey. How can we serve you best? I'll just go through with you just my presentation. So let's get started with a quick little agenda. I'm going to look into some goals of the survey, our results, some chamber actions that we were looking into, as well as finally the next steps that I want to work together with you all on how we can move forward together in restarting and recovering and being resilient as a business community. So first of all, is our goal, how can the Chamber support? Not only are we trying to support our members at this time, we also want to support our business community as a whole, and also working with our city in terms of our small business recovery task force and looking into Redesign Rupert in the future on how we can play a role in that. But first of all, many people have been asking, so what does the Chamber do? And in our survey, and we want to share how we fit in the community. So first of all, we play a role in member advocacy. We try to get a seat in the tables. We also try to connect communities members together, as you can see in this wonderful Chamber conference call we have weekly. We are also a news communicator, which is found in our websites, our social media that we're really active on, especially on Facebook. We also provide programs that support with business retention, expansion, and succession support that we would love to hear on how we can help you with. And finally, we help with our youth empowerment with our Rising Stars mentorship program. So I just want to get started in on how the survey results look like, but I want to give you a little insight in how we do our survey. Number one, it's so important for to understand what is the context of where Prince Rupert is at, as it has been going through a lot of change recently. And I looked into the Redesign Rupert labor study, as well as the recruitment and retention study, to understand where we at with how our local economy is. And then I worked with our business leaders in our community, which is from our Chamber of Board of Directors, to understand what questions to ask. And finally, we conducted our survey. And what was really important is that we made sure that we had 25% of 14 different sectors in our memberships, as well as non-members who were affiliated with some of our events, who knew us a little bit more. So we asked them how we can support them and what were their challenges. So here's a little overview of our survey. So we had a total of 67 responses, and we do know that it's Prince Rupert and District Chamber of Commerce. So we have surveyed also Port Edward as well as Terrace. And what we found is that there's many micro businesses out there. Almost 50% have 1 to 4 employees, also understanding that it means that they can be rather vulnerable, especially at this time. But we're so positive. People have been so positive in this. Again, note, this has been done before the pandemic has hit, but again, there's hope. There's hope because the view of Prince Rupert as a place to do business has been excellent to good, but 70% have stated that. Additionally, there has been such a dramatic change in the attitude of business for the past 3 years, with over 50% stating more positive. So, yes, this is a time for change, and of course, unprecedented uncertainty has definitely made this a little bit harder to digest at times. But hey, let's hold on to what is true and what is hope, that we are working together at this, and we still have this vision. And when I asked these people before it hit, there were 60% of our respondents that said that they wanted to expand. Almost 80% were interested in downtown revitalization. So there is hope, and we just need to just get started back up with the recovery and resilience to get back onto our feet. And there's also this aspect of succession or retiring. We have businesses that are 30% of our businesses that we interviewed are 35 years plus old. And Community Futures has this program that they're working with on the Great Business BC sale. Definitely there's a change in that activity right there, but that's still something to talk to you about Community Futures in terms of succession planning and such, because they have an opportunity there. But let's dive into our results. There's 3 key results that I do want to quickly summarize in terms of what was found in our surveys. One key thing, and of course, everyone says this, is staffing. So major challenge when I ask, what are the business challenges? And still to this day, it's staffing. But let's break that down. What does it mean? Because almost 60% stated that as an issue. How I looked at this is I talked to people in these calls, and I just counted every single time someone said staffing in each response. So what I found was skilled workers was a huge issue, as well as staff wages and a lack of staffing. So these are 3 key challenges within staffing that we need to look at. So these are things to keep in mind, not just now, but long term. Other challenges I do want to speak about is local buy, which is so important right now. 54% have stated a lack of retail traffic. So it's not just an issue then, but it's a huge issue now with the lack of cash flow. Additionally, of course, government regulation is definitely a thing, but I found that I didn't put a red circle in because there's a lot of confusion of where government lies and the roles of government. And then the last 2 things in terms of challenges has high rent cost. And that's also a huge issue that deals with cash flow, of course, and funding for business. So this survey and this challenge has shown that we still have challenges, but they're bigger than ever given this pandemic. So this is why we still need to look into ways of how do we innovatively approach this. But now, where does the chamber come in? So 2 things. A, positive is we're a service provider. We provide networking and communication resources, as well as help for industry and other people in our community. However, we have found that there has been an issue of relevancy. 50% have stated that we have not been as supportive of small businesses, and 25% have stated in the survey have said that they don't really know too much of the chamber. And given that time, we wanted to change that. We're trying to change that dialogue every single week because we want to bounce in and we want to say we're ready to help and we're here. Which means that there's opportunity. You know, we can improve and we can go get better at what's our bread and butter. It's our service provider role that we play, and that means being a communicator, a networker, advocating with government in terms of what they need, providing entrepreneurial support. And additionally, the last few things I want to say that we are seeing that we should do is facilitating job creation. And how does that look like? Supporting the local movement of goods in these dialogues and supporting program collaboration. So a key takeaway that I found is we are an ecosystem and not a silo. And the foundational pieces of education, housing, social services, these are pivotal to support our people, and our people are those who are the small businesses that provide the amenities that are needed, the people who provide capacity and finally, I wanted to say that where we play a role is facilitating collaboration. So I'm going to quickly summarize in a minute and a half on where are we going to go forward with this? What are we going to do with these challenges? What are we going to do when we see this opportunity that the chamber has? Finally, it's the RRR plan, response, recover, and resilience. This means that we need to listen to you guys and we need to recover and be resilient simultaneously. So our current response is we have these conference calls. We're having a webinar, e-commerce webinars that's coming up this Thursday with my cousin Simon. We have a social media campaign and a sweepstakes that we are working with alongside with the Small Business Economic Recovery Task Force. But not only that, we need to listen to you. The ending of my survey is as saying that we need to have a call with you again as our members and ask, what can we do together? Because it's not like we're providing you a service, we're providing approaches to collaborate together. We see the problems of cash flow, the lack of supply, tourism restrictions, and recruitment and retention issues. But these are still problems then, still problems now, but we just need to move with you guys on how we can do it together. So the key action item that we need to move forward is the business vital check. And that is just understanding sector by sector. What are your needs? What would you like? What are some steps to move forward in opening up? And we want to do a status check. Who's opened? Who's closed? So we need to understand how can we support different sectors if, like, for example, Kaylee has stated tourism is going to be recovering the last. So how do we give buffer room to that area? We need to listen to you for us to solution solve together. Thank you so much. I know that time is over, so please forward me any questions if you have to my email right here. So it's right there. And I'm excited to just work with you and just have a call and just to hear how we can help you. Thank you.